Hello, loved ones. This is Matt Stevens. And as usual, I hope you're doing fantastic. I am hanging in there. Let's put it that way. The lovely Kitty had she got she'd caught she'd caught some illness. Let's put it that way. And I've been really fighting hard not to catch it from her, and I think I've done pretty good, but I'm a little bit not 100%, but I'm hanging in there okay. But anyway, yes, I hope you're doing fantastic. And I wanted to continue a little bit about vibration because it's something a lot of people talk about. It's something a lot of people, you've got all the good vibe people, whatever, the people with the t-shirts and the bumper stickers, the good vibes only and whatever. And that's cool. It is, really. But it goes a lot deeper than that. And like with regards to vibration, some people are like, well, how do I know if I am vibrating? Like if you're trying to manifest something or whatever the case may be, it's like, how do I know if I'm really vibrating on that level? It's like, I don't know. It's like if I'm trying to manifest abundance, somebody might be like, I've never had abundance, so I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. Well, really, it's one of those cases where it's good to kind of build some faith. In other words, start small. Don't manifest $1,000,000 first. Let's manifest $1,000, or whatever. Start small, and that'll also build your trust in the system, and it'll show you how things are going to feel, right? And it kind of like I've lost an item recently, okay, and it's a very special item. It's a crystal. Obviously, we've got that going on around here, right? But Kitty had given it to me a couple of years ago, and it's very special to me. And I lost it. It fell out of this. It just kind of fell out. So, and I really don't have any idea where it is. So I've been looking for it. Well, the other day I thought I found it. I mean, it was like, whoa, there it is, And that feeling that I got very briefly, right? When I realized, oh, that's not it. But I did note, it's like this feeling right here that you just had, you need to make a note of that because that's the feeling you need to have in order to make something like that happen, in order to find this item that's been lost. But anyway, it's like that. But your emotions are really what's going to tell you if you are vibrating correctly, right? If you think of this thing that you're wanting to manifest in your life, whatever the case may be. In my case, it's to find that crystal. And like I said, when I thought I found it, that elation was very short lived, but but it was enough where I'm like, that's what it would feel like to find it. I need to stay in that vibration, right? So, but a lot of people are always like, how do I know if I'm vibrating correctly to get where it is that I want to go? Well, that's kind of your guide, your emotions, your mental and emotional state is that. I mean, that's really all you've got to go on. And also, it's usually advisable to baby steps, always baby steps. Start small and build belief, build some trust in the process, build some trust in your ability to do it, build some trust in all of that. And plus, it lets you know what that feeling really feels like. Now, you can't imagine it and all of those things, but I'm just saying, start out small. That's all. Anyway, loved ones. Oh, please like and subscribe. I have been picking up some subscribers here on the YouTube. And I'm also going on Rumble as well. So if anyone would rather watch the videos there, that's fine. And I am still continuing with the audio podcast. Of course, that's my original thing, but whatever. So, but in the Kabbalion, and also in other books I've read, it talks a lot about vibration. And but I really like how it talks about in the Kabbalion how spirit or the all, the creator, that at the level of vibration that it is at, or some you can call it God, fine, whatever. But at the level of vibration that the creator's at, it is almost to the point where it's like it appears to be at rest. And that is kind of okay, like for how we can kind of imagine it is like when we have a wheel, and when you see a wheel and it's turning, and if it's turning at a slow rate, you can tell that it's turning. But as it gets much faster and faster and faster, there comes a point where it looks like it's not even turning at all, right? It almost looks like it's just sitting still. That is what is the rate of spirit. That's the rate that spirit vibrates at, to the point where it almost appears to be at rest. Okay? Then the opposite end of that would be what the Kybalion refers to as gross matter. And that's where we are here in the like 2D and 3D, just physicality. And that, and some, like, I don't know, take a piece of gravel maybe, but things that are very low vibrational, they vibrate at such a rate that it would almost appear that they're at rest also. So kind of the difference between this and this, for appearances is concerned, appears to be the same thing, because they appear to be at rest. It's just one is got such a slow and low rate that it appears to be at rest. One is at such a high rate that, again, it appears to be at rest. And that's cool. And then everything in between, which would be us, everything we know, everything that exists, is somewhere in between. And there are millions, probably billions upon billions of vibratory rates. And depending upon at what rate it vibrates determines what it is. It's like I said in the last video. And you take any atom you want, and depending upon its vibratory rate determines what it is an atom of. And I know some people might be like, well, no, it's how many electrons are in it or whatever. Okay, fine, you're right. But each atom is going to vibrate at a different rate if it's got more or less electrons and this and that. But to keep it simple so that we can understand it, those of us that don't really care about numbers of electrons in an atom, because I don't, but I mean, it is interesting, but it's not something that I'm going to use. What I'm going to use is I need to understand how vibration works and how it applies to my life and and things like that. And I got to believe that most of you are that way too. Because if you're that much into science, you're on the wrong channel. So there's that. But anywho, loved ones, so there are billions upon billions of varying degrees of vibration between the all and the lowest of gross matter, right? And actually in the Kybalion it says, he who understands the principle of vibration has grasped the scepter of power. And that's a pretty bold statement. That basically says once you fully understand vibration, then you have grasped the scepter of power. Whatever that means. Sounds pretty cool though, doesn't it? So, but it's an understanding that is profound. It's an understanding that makes it so that we can better our lives and better the lives of the people around us and all of that by having this understanding. But then there's also like, well, okay, well that sounds good. So if I get my emotions up and I get that feeling up, and that's my being, that's my personal, my vibration getting up, and it's vibrating at the rate of whatever it is that I want manifested in my life. That's great. But how do I put that out there? How does that message get out? Well, there is what the Hermeticists called the etheric substance, or the ether. And it can be debated amongst scientists whether or not the ether actually exists. Well, whatever, they can debate it all they want. I am more of a spiritual person. I believe that the ether does exist. And good thing too, because that is kind of the transmitter. It's like a fluid. It's like, okay, does a fish know it's in water, or is it just in water and that's just where it lives? Right? Of course, it just knows it's in water. That's its medium. And it's like, well, when we are up here on the surface, we're in air. Do we know we're in air? Well, yeah, only because of our reasoning. But the point is that is the medium in which we exist. But it goes a little deeper than that. The ether is the medium upon which everything else exists. The ether is that's the well, it's the substance. The ether is the medium of transmission of waves of vibratory energy. I had to look at the definition there. I thought I would remember it. Sorry, don't judge me. If I want to be judged, I would do it myself. so there's that. But the ether is kind of what we can use to be the transmission between us and what it is that we want to create in our lives. Because like with regards to the law of attraction and things like that, it's like we attract to us the things that we are vibrating on, which I've on the audio podcast, I've not fully poo-pooed at the law of attraction. It's fine. I don't disagree with it. It's just that it doesn't go far enough. You still, after all of that, having the proper beliefs and having the vibration and and the emotions and all of that, that's all great. But we do still currently live in a 3D physical world. So we do have to do physical things, right? So, and that is also a transmission of this is what I'm doing, right? So like if someone wanted to be a hot rod mechanic, they're not going to get very far just sitting on their couch and, right, and whatever. They need to actually get busy buying tools and just begin the work. Now, are they going to be famous and all that good stuff? Eventually, yeah. I mean, if they put in the work, it's all about doing physical work. But the beautiful part of that is we don't have to know how and when the magic's going to happen, because our creator, our oversoul, or whatever you want to call it, will do most of the work for us. It's more just kind of taking a step of faith, demonstrating this is what I am now. This is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I do. And doing requires action. So we got to get into action, of course. But anyway, so really the main thing I really just wanted to talk about was a lot of people, when they talk about vibration, they're like, they kind of get some people get confused. Some people even tell you, and they're like, yeah, but how do I know if I'm doing it? Well, because it's like I've never done it before. So how do I know? That's fair. I mean, it really is. So it's like, just kind of let your emotions be your gauge. Gauge whether or not you are vibrating on that frequency, vibrating on that level, right? And start small, of course, because that way we can kind of build faith in it, and we can start recognizing, oh yeah, that's the feeling. That's the vibration right there, right? And then understanding the ether, understanding how that medium that is a vibratory there we go again. It's the medium of which transmissions go out and back, right? I've even recommended employing the help of trees such as the bioantenna, where you put your hands on a tree and you transmit to the universe what you are broadcasting out, so that way that will be what is reflected back to you. But anyway, loved ones, that's what I got. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I do love you. I do. And I will be back directly.